Hi, my name's Harry Norton. I'm part of the KTM factory off-road team. Just here today to show you how to fit the map selector switch on this 250 TPI 2019. So I'll run you through a few tips and tricks and how to route it. So first, little preliminary stuff to get you going is cut off the cable ties that hold all your wiring on your handlebars. Then pop your headlight, move in here, just sit that down there for now. Then you want to get your 8mm T-bar and remove two 8mm that hold on your front brake master cylinder. So this cap here, we now replace with our map selector switch. One little thing to keep an eye on as well is making sure that you do your bolts for your clamp up nice and even. So making sure there's an even gap on the front side and the back side. So once you have your map selector switch tied on the handlebars, the next step is to route it in under the tank. So take your seat bolts out. Then remove your 4 tank bolts front. Removing the little electrical connector at the back of your tank. And then your fuel line. So in the kit that comes with your new KTM, you've got these 2 little plugs here. One's for the bike on the fuel line and one's for the tank. So really handy if you're washing your bike so you don't get any dirt, any grime, any water into the fuel injection system. So next step is to route your wires down the right-hand side of the bike. Follow the main harness down using the clips that are already there. So now that we have our wires routed down here, poke them through to the left-hand side of the motorcycle. And this little white bullet connector in here is where your map switch plugs into. With this little bullet connector unplugged, that'll give you the torque map on your TPI, or any of your 2 strokes, to be honest, a carbon model or a fuel injected TPI model. The biggest advantage of your map switch is the ability to have the map switch up on the handlebars on the fly. Obviously under the tank it's tricky to get to, and when you're out on the trails with your mates it's not easy to take your tank off, so that's the biggest advantage of the map switch up there on your handlebars. So it's really important to make sure that all the wiring that you do is tucked away nice and neatly. So some little cable ties, tuck it up against the frame nice and neat, so then it doesn't rub on the underside of your tank on long trail rides. So that, good set of flush cuts, not the top of it, so there's no sharp edges left on your cable ties. And then same on the other side of the motorcycle, just make sure it's all nice and neat. Then put your headlight back in place once you've got all your wiring nice and neat. One thing just to double check is with any of the wiring that you do around your front brakes, whether it be your brake light, your map selector switch, just turn your handlebars left and right, make sure that none of your wiring is too tight, making sure that you've got lots of slack in your wiring, making sure that nothing's going to grab when you go from left to right to full lock to full lock. Then next up is remove your little plugs and to refit your tank. Final step, chuck your seat on. So now you have your map switch fitted to your TPI. The little switch here just sits right at your thumb. It's super easy to change on the fly. Whether your conditions go from sand to mud, if you're climbing a big gnarly hill or whatever it might be. Number 1 is standard, and then number 2 is your traction map. It does exactly the same as the plug under the tank, so with the plug disconnected is your traction map, with it connected is your standard map. It's just right here on your fly. You can change it as long as you're under 3,000 RPM, you can change it whenever you like.